All right, ready to dive into something really cool? We're talking multimodal LLMs today, that next level AI stuff. And it's clearly on your radar with all these articles you send over. We're going way past just text this time. Think AI that learns from pictures, sounds, videos, you name it. And, you're already up on LLMs, right? These things powering those super realistic chatbots, writing whole essays like it's nothing. Well, multimodal LLMs, those are like giving those same AIs a sensory upgrade, letting them process info from everywhere, just like we do. Imagine like searching online, not just with words, but with a picture of what you want, or sketching an idea and having AI turn it into actual website code. Wild stuff. We'll break it all down today.
It's wild how AI is now tackling this modality thing.
Mm.
Basically, it's how we categorize different types of information. Text is one, image is another, sounds, and so on. Humans, we're pros at processing all these at once. That's how we experience things. AI, though, this has been a tough one for them until now.
It's like trying to explain a whole dream with only emojis. Good luck with that. But that's what's so cool about multimodality. We're teaching computers to get the world more like we do.
Exactly. And it's huge, seriously. Think how often you can't quite explain something with words alone. Multimodal AI, that could be the answer, bridging that gap between our experience and how machines process everything.
So how do they actually work, these systems? Our articles get into it, and honestly, it's surprisingly intuitive. Imagine all your senses are speaking different languages, right? That's where modality encoders come in. Like translators, they convert each sense, pictures, sounds, whatever, into something the core LLM can work with. It's like finding a universal language for all those different senses. Pretty wild.
And here's the kicker. They don't just stay separate. This is where the shared embedding space comes in. Think of it like a central hub. Information from all those senses meets there and interacts. Like we connect a picture to a feeling, right? Someone says, man, that meeting was ice cold. Shared embedding space, it's teaching AI to make those connections too.
That's incredible. AI is developing its own senses in a way. But how does it learn all this? It's not like we can just tell it.
Well, it's more familiar than you might think, like how we teach kids, honestly. The articles talk about contrastive learning. Basically, showing the system what's similar, what's different, like a giant game of which one doesn't belong.
Mm.
Take CLIP, for example. Trained on billions of image-text pairs, it learns to link a cat pic with the word cat by seeing tons of examples.
So the more data it gets, the better it gets at understanding those connections. Makes sense. Speaking of which, we've got to talk about some of these specific models out there. The articles mention a few big names in multimodal LLMs. Can you give us a rundown of who's leading the charge?
Absolutely. One that's got everyone's attention is GPT-4o. It's making waves with its speed and efficiency, and that's a big deal in AI. But the really impressive part is that it handles multiple modalities all in one system. No need for separate models for images and text and all that.
So GPT-4o, that's like the multitasker, handling it all at once. What else is out there?
We can't talk multimodal LLMs without mentioning CLIP. Might not be the newest kid on the block, but it's foundational, really important. CLIP excels at connecting text and images. It's actually the backbone of a lot of other more advanced systems.
CLIP is like the silent hero, powering things behind the scenes. Okay, what about Flamingo then? What makes that one stand out?
Flamingo is interesting because it handles both images and videos, all within the context of text. Imagine having a conversation with AI about what's happening in a video. That's what Flamingo is all about.
Okay, that's just straight up cool. We've got GPT-4o, the multitasker, CLIP, the foundation, Flamingo, the visual conversationalist. And then there's BLI2. What's that one known for?
BLI2. It's known for its accuracy in image description and answering questions about images. Really impressive. Imagine showing it a famous painting like a Van Gogh. It could analyze those brushstrokes and say something like, this evokes a sense of isolation.
All right, now we're talking about AI that's basically an art critic. This is mind-blowing. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second. How is this actually being used out in the real world beyond all these amazing capabilities? We'll dig into the practical side of multimodal LLMs right after this. All right, back to bring multimodal LLMs down to earth a bit. How's this tech actually making a difference out there in the real world?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. We're not just talking potential anymore. These models are showing up everywhere. Healthcare, fashion, and honestly, we're just getting started.
Let's start with something we all use, searching online. Forget typing in a bunch of words. What if you could search with, like, pictures? Or even a mix of text and sounds.
Exactly. We're moving past those old text searches that give you a million useless results. Multimodal search engines that can use visuals and text so you get more accurate, more relevant stuff. Imagine finding that exact thing you want, even if you can't quite describe it.
Game changer. But let's get a little more, I don't know, a stylish virtual try-on that's going to revolutionize online shopping. I mean, who hasn't ordered clothes, tried them on, and they look nothing like the picture?
Oh, it's the worst. But multimodal LLMs, they could fix that. Imagine taking a picture of yourself, then trying clothes on virtually. See how they actually look on you before you buy. That could
Mhm.
make online shopping so much better, less risky for sure.
No more surprise returns. I'm in. But let's switch gears to something more serious. Healthcare. We're talking AI helping doctors diagnose things.
Huge potential there. Imagine these models looking at x-rays, MRIs, you name it, combining that with a patient's history, even their speech, to catch things early. It's like a superpowered assistant for doctors.
Potentially saving lives, it's incredible. Shows the impact goes way beyond just cool tech. But wait, there's more. Web design is getting shaken up too.
Absolutely. Models like GPT-4 Vision, they're already showing you can turn rough sketches into real website code. Imagine sketching an idea on a napkin, and AI turns it into a website. This could make web design so much easier for everyone.
That's huge for anyone who's ever felt intimidated by coding. And speaking of making things easier, let's talk about education.
Imagine textbooks that can actually talk back to you, explain pictures, diagrams, all that. Or personalized tutoring that adapts to how you learn best. Multimodal LLMs could make education so much more engaging and effective.
The possibilities are mind-blowing. But of course, with powerful tech comes challenges. What are some big ones facing multimodal LLMs?
The big one is data. These models need tons of it, and not just any data. It's got to be diverse, comprehensive, the whole deal. Gathering all that responsibly, that's key for making sure this technology develops ethically.
Makes sense. It's not just how much data, but the quality too. What else should we be thinking about as this all keeps advancing?
Explainability. These models are super complex. It's not always clear how they're getting their answers. And we need ways to understand that decision-making process, especially in things like healthcare, finance areas where trust is crucial.
It's like we need AI to show its work, not just give us the answer, especially as these models get more and more complex. So where do you see this tech going next? What's on the horizon in the world of multimodal LLMs?
Well, it's already moving beyond text, images, even video. Researchers, they're figuring out how to bring in audio, sensory data, maybe even smell, taste, who knows, things we haven't even thought of.
Wow, that is next level. Like AI that can almost experience the world like us with all our senses. What would that look like out in the world?
Imagine you walk into a store
Right.
and the digital assistant there, it doesn't just go off what you tell it. It picks up on how you're moving, what you're looking at, your expressions, super personalized recommendations.
Mhm.
Or think about virtual reality, but engaging all your senses. The line between digital and real life, it gets blurry.
Exciting, but kind of wild to think about for sure. Really shows why careful development of this tech is so important more than ever.
Absolutely. The more AI can do, the more we got to be aware of the consequences, making sure these advances are good for everybody.
It's on all of us, right? Staying informed, being part of the conversation. And it makes you wonder if this is where we're at now and things are changing so fast. Who knows what we'll be talking about a year from now? Few months, even.
The big takeaway is this: how AI understands us, how it interacts with the world. It's changing fundamentally, going way past just ones and zeros into our senses, our experiences. It's a whole new ballgame.
A future with a ton of potential, but we gotta be smart about it too. Hopefully, this deep dive has given everyone a lot to think about. What gets you excited about all this? What applications would you like to see? Keep those questions in mind as you learn more. Because the future of AI, we're all shaping it together.
That's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.